What's up, guys? I'm Brian with the Arms Guide, and I'm here with Damon Young. You guys have already seen me write a few things about the SSVI trigger. Damon is the guy who made that thing, and he is the man. So I'm going to shut up and listen to what Damon has to say, and then we'll kind of jump in as he says something that I have a question about. I'll just kind of riff with you here for a second. But Damon, Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thanks for talking about that sick, nasty, awesome trigger.
Cool, I appreciate it. So I designed this trigger a couple years back, and at the time I knew kind of what I wanted out of an aftermarket trigger. And I shoot Glocks for a living. I didn't want to change a lot of the things that everyone that relies on a Glock, make it a totally alien experience. You're not going to get a 1911 feel out of it. There's certain things you want to keep consistent, like coming up, hitting the wall, passing through that wall, and everything. And I wanted to maintain all that. So
you don't have to learn a whole new thing, right?
Right. I mean, because I've handled Glocks that have had the kind of work where we took all the pre-travel out, and there's almost no over-travel, and then guys that shoot Glocks, they'll come up I'll prep the trigger when I'm coming up on target, and I look for that wall, and I've had guns where I come up click, oh good God, and
shot when you didn't mean to.
Yeah, and which granted, I'm on target, that's why my finger was there, but at the same point, I wasn't ready yet. I want to be able to choose,
What you're shooting them for a living, and you don't mean competition. That's a bad thing.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's not cardboard all the time.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So that was kind of the thought behind the trigger, and not only that, I felt totally flat vertical triggers were kind of not the route to go for something that sits on a pivot point.
Okay.
In a 1911 where it passes straight back, absolutely. But otherwise, you turn this into a vertical plane, and now you're flipping a light switch, and you're getting what feels like more movement.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because that's outside of the group think. That most people are saying flat or curved, but you've got some hybrid thing happening there that you're kind of going to your own drum beat there.
Right.
You're kind of outside of, which is cool.
Well, and I wanted to keep the face of it very flat. I didn't want the actual full trigger to be flat, and with that slight curve at the bottom, it helps keep your finger in the spot that it should be every single time.
Yeah, but again, it's a bit disruptive. It's a bit outside of the main group think, which is cool to see somebody saying, this is what I want, and if I want this, other people want this. Well, and it's great.
That's really where I just lucked out, because I designed a trigger for me. I mean, honestly, and it turns out a lot of other people felt the same way.
Good. Yeah. So business is good.
Yeah. It's hard to keep up with triggers. Glock work. The Glock work I do is extremely time consuming.
Yeah.
So it's nicer to be able to sell triggers without having to put 8 hours into a project before that order goes out, to the customer.
How in the world does a guy work full time for DOE, right? Full time, do all the custom, time-consuming, cost prohibitive, but time-consuming work that you do to Glocks, and design a trigger and bring it to market? Not just this is a good idea, I'll do it when I retire, but do you sleep, man? What how did this happen?
Where I'm lucky enough with DOE, and working with guns and all that, that's kind of given me a lot of the head start that I don't think the average person would have. So so for instance, to go back to when I first started doing framework and whatever, the average guy would go oh, I'm gonna try to stipple this gun. And so he would do his gun, and then maybe his buddy would let him borrow his. And then in a couple months, when he saved up enough money, he'd go buy another one and do that one. And where I work with guys that everyone has a surplus of Glocks, I'm like, hey, I'm kind of interested in this, and then here's a truck full. And so
so they're not I can't send that to you right now. I'll send you this one. I've got another one to use in the meantime.
So when I came to the market with it, I had a ton of experience already. I'd already had 50 guns under my belt from all my local coworkers and whatnot. So that was a big bonus.
But it's a big deal that they bought into your vision. I mean, these guys are pretty serious about their guns, right? It's a big deal that they said, I want that. That's.
Well, and at the time there was only Ben from Boresight that was doing really unique, really crisp, looking gun work, and he had done a gun for me, and I wasn't trying to rip anything off. I was just like, cool, I'm gonna do my gun, and it turned out pretty good. I posted a picture, and it ended up blowing up, and so I thought, like, well, I guess I should maybe look into doing this, a little more seriously.
Was that via Instagram? Mm-hmm. It's been pretty huge for you.
Yeah, I had at the time Glock. I'm just a guy with 16 followers that posted funny memes and whatever. Right. And Glock Fanatics posted that picture, and all of a sudden it just exploded on me, and I realized I better figure out what I'm doing.
Would you have ever imagined that Instagram would have been the marketing thing that it is? Like
no,
it just seemed
in general it is. I mean at the time.
Yeah, in general.
There were the celebrities that had the big pages like Twitter, just like they would on Twitter, but for it to become such a huge freight train for any niche genre.
Yeah, I mean the guy under 25 doesn't care about your Facebook page that much. He's asking you, what's your Instagram?
Right.
Like it's pretty serious.
Yeah.
And these are like business people, not just like, they're serious about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think Instagram's gone the way it has because it's more of a sign of the decline of everything that everyone does mentally. Like they want instant gratification. It's just photos. Cool. I don't have to read anything.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. I totally buy that.
And
it is what it is.
To go with that, I mean, if you look at the Instagram page, right off the bat, here's the website.
Yeah.
Every
Lowest
question,
common denominator.
what does this cost? How do I find out what you like? You just click the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you keep sane?
To be fair.
Maybe not.
I do my best, but with my time being wrapped up in every possible way that I can, I could probably be more patient with certain things.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, the DOE gig is a 48-hour-a-week job. My days off are spent getting guns wrapped up or orders out the door, and occasionally trying to do something fun on a day off every now and then.
Yeah, and seriously, because the margin part, the live, work, play part it's important. It doesn't sound like there's a ton of margin, but people want to know you and who you are. I mean, Damon Young, you're the guy, right? In this particular video. So what do you do with that time? Like if you're actually going to chill for a second, what do you like to do?
Well, obviously I'm a gun guy. And that's, I think, where all this came first, is I was always that fanboy that loved something cool and unique. And it's
not just a tool, it's a tool that you like.
Right. And luckily with the special response team gig, it's a fantastic career, and I'm able to have more guns than I normally, would.
Sure.
If I was working retail or anything else like that.
Right.
And then going to the next step where I've always kind of liked the more loud. I mean, so for instance,
it's your personality.
This seems off topic, but the first music I ever remember listening to was when I was 6. I had like all my mom's old Kiss records. Yeah. And all I knew was like, that's the kind of band I want to be in.
That's it right there. Were you in a band?
Yeah. Up until just a few years ago. No, I still play drums.
What'd you play?
Drums. I started with guitar, but yeah, it was more death, black metal type music. So
the name of the band, you got to tell us the name.
Cultus Mortem.
Can we hear it online if we look around?
Yeah, if you look it up on YouTube, it's CVLTVSMORTEM.
Okay.
There's a few live videos with a bunch of rehearsal stuff. We played locally just around there, but Idaho doesn't have the biggest scene for metal.
Right, sure.
We knew we were only going to go as far as we went. So
yeah, cool.
But yeah, so on that note, I mean, I've always kind of liked the more loud, aggressive, in your face, anything. So all my guns have always been more over the top. I've got the Star Wars themed stuff.
Right.
I like doing gamer themed stuff, just stuff from just nostalgic for me. Video games or whatever. And then went that route with my Jeep. I did a whole Stormtrooper themed Jeep. And,
really?
Yeah.
Is that on Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that thing's awesome.
Yeah. I need to do better research then. Sorry.
No, you're totally good. So I've been like a Mustang guy for the last few years, and I finally got a really nice one, and I thought like, well, Idaho winters are rough. I just need to get like a beat up old Jeep and something for the snow. And it turns out the resale value, they maintain it really well.
Yeah.
So I could have gotten one that had 60,000 miles and saved $4,000 or bought exactly what I wanted for barely nothing more.
Yeah.
So that's the route I went, then started upgrading it and doing all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, finding time to use the vehicles I have, and in all honesty, my average day off, I'm still downstairs busting out something gun related. So.
Yeah. So is that margin for you? I know it is a business, but does it feel like fun for you now, or has it turned into work?
That depends on the client.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that then.
Okay.
Who's a good client? Like, not a name, but what makes somebody that you want to work with?
So I hate saying this because I have or am both of them, but law enforcement and military, like vets,
You don't
end
want-
up being the worst as
Really?
far as wanting handouts, wanting a hookup, wanting something, and
Come on, you can throw the press guys under that. We want the
What?
hookups.
No,
even
well,
more, yeah.
you know what? But you generally shine a spotlight. I mean, the first few times I started to see like articles coming out, I was worried because trigger hadn't been very long. I'm like, did something go wrong?
Right.
I hope everything's good, and everything's worked out well. But it just seems, guys like me that spent 3 years in, and I did Iraq and all that, but I didn't come back and immediately walk into every Home Depot and say like, what do you got for me?
Because I went to Iraq.
Yeah, I did some stuff 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, yeah, you don't do that to go get handouts for. So that is what it is. My favorite people are just the other fans, like I was, just excited.
Yeah.
And as long as people realize that I have a lot on my plate and an email every day doesn't help me any faster get it done. Those guys are great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the ones that are willing to do stuff outside the box.
Are there projects that somebody asks you to do and you're like, I wasn't planning on doing a project, but that idea like gets my creative juices flowing, and that's something that like I really want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Billy Cho, formerly of Rifle Dynamics and now with Radian, he and I have a lot in common. He's a way bigger knife guy than I am, and I consider myself a pretty good knife guy.
Okay.
But it turns out we played all the same video games growing up.
Okay.
So we had brought up like, oh man, it'd be awesome to do, this themed gun and this themed gun. And then he's like, Final Fantasy VII. I was like, yeah. So, and we had to come up with graphics on the, and it's hard to do a themed gun like that where you're not making the gun look like a specific other kind of gun, like the Stormtrooper gun. I'm doing certain things, but that you kind of have to just put images on.
Yeah.
Without making it look cluttery and awful. So I think it turned out pretty awesome, and I mean it's got a crazy, weird, unique color scheme where it's kind of a whitish blue, violet, fading up to black, like kind of like the Comet was, and we did a big Comet on the side.
Can I post a picture of that with this?
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sure I can find one on your Instagram.
Or I can send it over to you.
Okay.
So, yeah, but that gun is awesome. And when I do start doing projects like that, the other guys that I work with a lot tend to get excited about it too. Like the guys from Silencer Co. Like, does he need a barrel? Because and then Mike's like, what's he want? And Mike from Blown Deadline is by far the.
Oh my goodness, his work's amazing.
His work's amazing, but what I love the most is when I come to him with a project.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you ever saw my Borderlands KSG.
Yeah.
So initially, I photoshopped that whole thing up.
Okay.
And I'm looking at some other guns for reference. I'm like, okay, so this little tip over here is red, and then there's a checkerboard, then it fades to this, and it's all this. And I'm assuming I'm gonna get a text back like, "Go fuck yourself." Like it's like, well, I need you to change out everything to do a red color for this one spot, and do a whole lot of like. I know I'm asking for a lot, and every time I've sent him something, like the crazier it is, I get an email back that's like, "I wish everyone would do this and knew exactly what they wanted. This makes it easier." I'm like, "Yeah, good. We're still friends." Like I thought this was gonna be it. Like,
yeah. So he sees that as a challenge. I love people like that in general. That like you ask a lot of them, but they want to say yes. Like they're not looking for a reason to give you a this is why it can't be done. Like you've got a project that's worthwhile. Somebody is bought in and they're like, oh, but that, like, oh, but that.
Well, and I've gotten a lot of that from other Cerakoders. I mean, there's a lot of good Cerakoders out there. There's a lot of people that others think are good Cerakoders that are good at the fundamental things to it. And he's the whole package. Like
it just speaks to great confidence and somebody wants to be on the leading edge of their industry or their craft. And I think there's almost an art form to Cerakoting.
Oh, there is, and he's one of the few guys that actually uses an airbrush the way an airbrush was intended. Everyone else goes flat coat, stencils, flat coat, and he's sitting there doing details and using it like an art brush.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So We got to wrap this up because I can't take
sorry.
all your time. No. I'm not sorry. You're not sorry. I'm sorry to take all your time. You got all kinds of networking to do, and but we need to land with your trigger. So what have you not said about it?
Okay, so to go over, we haven't even brought this up.
Yeah.
So the guys at Legal Manufacturing got a hold of me and about the Mod 2 gun. So I was already kind of a big fan of what they're doing because I mean that's.
And they were Legal Manufacturing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. If you look them up, it's Legal MFG, all one word on Instagram. And I mean, it's nickel boron, so your surface hardness is like 72 Rockwell. I mean, it's going to be insanely hard, harder than any blade you'd ever use. And the way they're pulling that finish off is unique. You're not getting that same flat, chrome-looking, bulkier that nickel boron was known for. So. What they're doing is a similarly modded slide like this. The trigger will also be nickel boron plated, as well as the trigger bar. And this package will have the laser stippling, and I've got some up-close shots of that too.
Which is really, I mean, this is incredible, guys.
That's awesome.
Like this is. For those of you that said, I'll never stipple my gun because it's not precise enough, you neat Nancy, neat freak people out there. Mm-hmm. Like, this is your ticket right here.
Well, so, and on that, the price point for the whole package is, if you're going to get just like this, it's $15.99, which might be high. To me, I consider this, I mean, if you're in the knife world, this is a mid-tech gun.
Okay.
To me.
Yeah.
So you can get a full-blown SSVI gun or a full-blown agency gun, and it's easy to spend $2,500 on a block. This is the next best thing. Okay. I mean, they'll be readily available. Right. It's a fantastic package, and
it's attainable, awesome.
Yeah.
Attainable, awesome. I mean, let's face it. The average shooter, there are a lot of them out there that really can't go spend. They can't justify spending $2,500 to $3,000.
If I wasn't doing this,
on
I
a
couldn't.
handgun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're just like they blame their wife, but it's not that. They have an internal dialogue that says, just shouldn't do this. For my family where we're at in life, we just shouldn't do it. But this is a more attainable price point for a lot of people, and it gives them a lot of the same cool factor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got the trigger fill. I mean, if you haven't tried out one of the tier triggers, give it a shot. I mean, my biggest point about that is, I mean, keep everything else OEM. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't mean to jump in there, but I try to keep back the fanboy. Like, I like all this stuff, but I really don't remember a product that had me like going out to the range excited about it, because you have lots of stuff that you're reviewing. I was excited about that trigger, not just when it came in. After using it, I was still excited, and I'm a total fan, and I'm having a hard time here like keeping my cool, but like, I'm a total fan.
No, I mean, honestly, like, and it's funny. So I mean, I knew exactly how I wanted it to look, and I knew how I wanted to sit, angle-wise.
It's really good.
But getting it back, like if you see me on the average day, I'm walking in the house, drive by, reset. That's such a small reset. Like, dude, that's all you hear. I mean, I've got security cameras all over, and I'm sure all you hear is clickety rack, click, click, rack.
Yeah, cool. It's really good. So. Close it out however you want, Damon. What do folks need to know about? Because I didn't cut you off before you finished with what's going on with the handgun, did I?
No, that was most of the details. I mean, these will be available exclusively through them. They do plan on doing the nickel boron trigger as a standalone item too.
Good. So we'll be able to get that through you.
Me and them.
Okay.
So that I'm excited about. I just I like something loud, and the contrast I do with the machining, that finish just brings it out beautifully.
It just pops, man.
And that coupled with nickel boron, I mean, it's glass slick, and it's going to last forever.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
But yeah, keep an eye out for these guns in the near future. They should be available from distributors and retailers before too long. And look up Legal Manufacturing on details on how to get a hold of that stuff.
And where can people find you and all the online stuff?
If you Google SSVI, you'll find the Facebook page, Instagram, a few things on YouTube. I started doing some how-tos on YouTube, but I haven't progressed much with that. So,
but if you did, they'd go. People would watch it.
Yeah. I started one showing how I do borders and all that with the gun work, and that's always been the best kept stippling secret. And I just got tired of everyone acting like they had the cup of youth.
Yeah, again, disruptive. You're doing disruptive stuff, man.
I just like to piss people off.
I mean,
really-
that's the same thing.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same thing. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
Anytime.
You guys check him out. Damon Young is, no joke, legitimately the man.